A moment of crisis brought unexpected peace and a new journey of faith.
That she said, I didn't know if we were going to crash and things like that, but and as we were coming down for a landing, you could see the emergency vehicles with their lights on and things like that. And she said, I started praying, and she said this beautiful sense of peace and joy came over me in the middle of all that. And I was just rejoicing in that and rejoicing in that. And they landed really without incident, and everyone broke out into applause. And this man, this stranger that was sitting on the opposite aisle across from my wife, walked up to her when they finally came to a stop and all the applause kind of dissipated. He walked up to her and he said, you know, I grew up in church, but I haven't gone since I was a little boy. And he said, the church I grew up in taught you to memorize prayers and just say them over and over again. And I was so worried that I couldn't remember the prayer. And he said to my wife, he said, I looked over at you and I saw this beautiful sense of peace on your face. And so I guess I prayed my own prayer. And he said, I said, Lord, whatever you're giving that woman, give it to me and make it a double. Which I guess is a reference to servings of alcohol. But it was actually servings of peace and joy that comes from a life of prayer. And I want every one of us to discover that. I want every one of us to find that. And if you already have found it, man, I want you to continue in it, and I want you to grow in it.